Hey, welcome back to No Shortcuts. I'm Mike Smith, and I'm just glad to be here today with the tribe. Just want to talk to you guys today about just a couple things kind of been on my mind. I was trying to think about some topics, and this was one. I was listening to a couple gentlemen out there that are this world is getting kind of crazy, and they made some sense. They wanted to become a dangerous man, like a soldier in the garden. I mean, we've seen those that have seen like the Gladiator and Maximus saying that he wanted to quit war and he wanted to go and plow fields and have gardens because he had enough war in his life. I don't. It's guess it's something kind of hard for me to understand. I've never been in war, um, so to understand that, I can only relate just because I'm going. I get it. You've had enough. But I think it's very important that as men that we become dangerous men and like in the gardens. And this is a really cool little thing. I found it. I was reading and I found this little saying, a little story. It was a disciple once walked beside his master through a peaceful garden. Troubled, he finally asked, "Master, you teach me the ways of peace, yet you also teach me deadly techniques of combat. How can both be true?" The master knelt, plucked the flower gently, and answered, "It is better to be a warrior tending his garden than a gardener focused or forced into war." I, I thought about that for a second, and it's so true. I mean, where, we want peace. We want to keep peace in our house. We want to keep peace wherever we go, and we want to protect our homes. Um, and I think it's important for us to kind of have that mentality that we as men should become protectors. And I know we're in a different time now where that wasn't always something that we should do, but I believe it's something that we should start stepping up to. And I'm talking to all of us. I'm talking to just us guys. I mean, we're not perfect. Um, my dad, he never owned a gun, grew up around them, but he never taught me how to shoot. We fished a couple times together, but never taught me how to shoot. And we never had a gun in the house. And my dad was a very peaceful man. He loved the Lord, followed the Lord, and he was a pastor. So in his mind, violence wasn't even an option for him, and it wasn't even something that he would even consider. Even today, if you ask my father about a gun or how he felt about these times, excuse me, these times that how would he prepare himself for it? He would definitely tell you that he would keep it in the hands of God and stand firm. He's not a violent guy, never was. Um, he'll hug you to death, guarantee that. But to think that he'd lay a hand on you, no, no. And I don't think my father's ever had to be in a position for that to even become an issue. But I don't think that any of us should wait for that to happen either. I think that I'm encouraging us men today, that we become the soldiers or the warriors in the garden. As a husband and a father, it means taking our strength and applying it to protect, to nurture, to build, and to love. I mean, that's the highest form of warriorhood that you could really even imagine to have. But the garden is your home, your children, your marriage. This is where strength matters the most. And we need to protect that. We really do in these times. We need to really consider it. No one else is going to do this but us. Really, nobody else is going to do it. We need to do this. We don't have to be veterans to learn this, but we sure can listen from a lot of veterans who were trying to show us that this is something that maybe we should start applying in our lives for our families. I'm starting to really think about that now and about that in my own home, of how I'm able to do that as well. Look, I'm learning new things. The last one we talked about becoming a better man myself. I want to become better. I think the important part is we got to train our bodies and we got to train our characters as well. And to do that, we have to have these daily applications. And look, I'm going to start applying these. I'm applying them now. I'm listening to books, audio. I love audiobooks. But I tell you what's funny. When I finish listening to audio, if I really like the audio, I buy the book. I do. Every time. It feels like I need to own it after I've listened to it. Shoot, I got a couple books up here where I've read Grant Churchill. I'll tell you what, that Churchill was murder. That was a long book, but I learned a lot from these two. And there's others I have here. I've got John Adams, and well, I got a bunch. I got more I'm going to be adding to it as well. Jordan Peterson. I enjoy his books tremendously, and to be able to apply them. But I think application is important for us, guys. I think that keeping our mind sharp, reading, reflecting, and learning. Now, reflecting is put the phone down. Reflecting is just having a moment, a silent time to be able to think about what we're doing and how we're going to, what's next, and what we're going to do today or down the line. Maintaining our physical health, exercise, sleep, nutrition. I'm learning. I'm eating better. I'm still working on my sleep. I don't know what's going on with that. I got to figure it out. I even got this funny thing right here. If you guys saw it on the table, this is it's fully loaded alpha. These are the what's that? Really like them. And the nootropics, I really like. I kind of feel it. Maybe it's in my head. I don't know. I'm enjoying them. I'm not eating them like candy or anything like that. I'm using them when I feel like I need them for a little bit of energy, a little bit of clarity. I like it, and it's can't hurt. Now, strength, I'm going to start going to the gym. If you don't have the money for that, and you want to work at home, fine. Or you don't have the time, you can do it at home. You should. I'm feeling it now that I need to be more healthier for my family. I need to be in a position to be able to protect myself and my family. One, if I can't protect myself, I can't protect them. I had to think about this, and it's something that needs to be done. And I'm working on it. I think that we all can. And as I go further into this, I'm going to share with you the things that I'm doing. I'm going to get ready to start a gym membership. Yeah. And go at it. I'm going to go at it. I really want to, the Murph Challenge next year, I want to give it a shot. I want to go at that and try it. Got to have a goal. Got to have it. And that's what I'm going to do. I think we also need to strengthen our moral values, our integrity, our discipline, and our courage. Integrity is so important, fellas, in our homes and the people that we talk to. If you promise something, keep your promise. If you're going to say you're doing it, get it done. Discipline, find something that you can work on. Start with something small and go at it. Try it. Courage. That's something in itself. Even just whatever it takes, whatever can getting the ball going. I think that's the important part. And I think that's where we have to find that place where we determine one person thinking what courage is and another could be two different things. Always happens that way. What I think is like a crowd for me is terrifying. Other people don't bother them. I went to Molly's. It's a store, sports store. It's got guns and things like that. And I wanted to start looking around at some guns because I want to start carrying a handgun, an everyday carry, and I'm doing my homework. And I also want a self defense in the house as well, a rifle. So I'm in there. There's a lot of people in there, and I was like, you know what? It took a lot for me to go inside because when I don't know something, man, let me tell you what, I don't want to go in there looking silly. But I did it. I went inside and there were all these guys over there and men and women checking out guns and clicking them and pointing them. And I flat out told the guy, and it was really graceful about it. I was like, look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is what I'm looking for. This is what I've thought about and I've looked up. What do you think? And he was great. He was like, yeah, that's a good thing you did there. It's a good thing you did your homework and you're looking at them. And he gave it to me to hold it. And I'm holding it. And there's all these people around and I don't know where to point it. I'm like, I won't scare anybody with this handgun. He hands me this rifle that I really liked. But they're pointing it at the walls and things like that. And I guess that's the right way. I don't know. I didn't know what to do. And I kind of handed it back and thanked him for his time. And I walked out of there. I wasn't defeated. I was a little disappointed in myself, but to be honest with you, it kind of took a little lot. It took a lot for me to go do that because I didn't know what I was doing. But I know it's important. I know it's important to me. And I know that it's something in the future that it could be something important for safety in my home or in my life. Whoever knows. Nobody knows. But I really feel that as a man that we should be able to protect our families and our homes, or let's just say those soldiers that are here that are in the garden that can keep their garden protected. We want to stay capable, and we stay capable not because we expect a battle, but because the capability shapes our character. And I think that's where we need to be. We need to become capable. I'm learning it. I mean, I'm glad nobody videotaped me going into that store. I felt like an ass. I really did. But I have to laugh at myself about it. And I have to be able to look back and go, you know what? I did the best I can with this. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get it done. With that being said, you know, I wanted to share with you a little Bible. You know, in the Bible, there's some very powerful men. There were mighty warriors who became peaceful men. And there's one particular, David. The warriors whose strength was eventually transformed into wisdom, humility, and peace. Often the Bible shows the greatest heroes aren't those who can fight, but those who learn when not to. I agree with that 100%. I've had the opportunity to be around a lot of mixed martial art individuals who had capabilities, but that was the last thing that they would ever pull out of their pocket in any kind of confrontation with somebody, especially somebody who just wanted to start something. Maybe they knew who he was. That they didn't do it. They talked themselves out of it and walked away. Because I don't have that capability like they did, I would always think to myself, man, I would crush them. Man, I would go after them. That's because I don't know. It's because I haven't trained. And that's because I don't understand my abilities, and they do. And I need to learn that for myself. Just like David. David is from the Old Testament. David was a man after God's own heart. David was called by God. David was if you've never read your Bible or you've only read a little bit, one of the first stories I would tell you to read, besides Adam and Eve, is read David. Take a look about David. And you can go there and read about David's life. You can start in Samuel, and read in Samuel about him as well. David's got a very, very interesting story about him. He began as Israel's most fierce warrior. Yet later in life, he was tending his gardens. When he finally became the gardener and not the soldier, he had opportunities to kill a king named Saul, and he didn't do it when he had the advantage in Samuel. That was 1 Samuel 24:26. And you'll read story from time and time again where David had grown from the warrior into the man that God wanted him to do, wanted him to be. Excuse me. David made a lot of mistakes. There's That's why I always tell people, read David. I mean, we can relate that he wasn't perfect. But at the end of his days, he desired to build a temple. But God told him that he had shed too much blood. That's a lot. That's a lot of killing. So he spent the final years preparing for Solomon, his son, a peaceful reign. See, all the killing that he did and all of the right and wrongs that God had to correct David over made David a great man. Regardless of being perfect, he wasn't. But he knew how to pray and ask for forgiveness. And I think that's important too, man, that we ask for forgiveness from our family members when we're wrong and admit it and be humble to our family. Nothing wrong with being an alpha running around with your chest stuck out all day long, but there's a time and a place for that. There's a transformation when you're in the garden, where you're the gardener, and everything in that garden is fragile, and it takes a certain touch from the gardener, not the soldier, to be able to raise his family, speak to his wife, and give direction by what he does in his daily walk, and they can see everything he is. God does turn warriors into peace builders, from violence to purpose, from strength to stewardship, from fighting to leading, to conquest to building. What you doing, Beatrix? It's okay. She's over here chewing on something while we're doing the show, and she knows it. I haven't got over there and get it from her yet. I just want to encourage you guys. Look, man, I don't think there's anything cooler than it is that we become soldiers in the garden. And that if there is a time that we need to come out of that garden and to be able to go to war, we can and have the capability. In Isaiah 2, there's a prophecy here in Vision. It says, they will beat their swords into plowshares and learn war no more. And I think that's true for men. We should be able, those great soldiers that have served our country and come back here have had to learn to beat their swords into plows and become gardeners and learn war no more. But it didn't mean that they can't do it. It just means that they don't have to. There's nothing more secure in a man's life as knowing what he is capable of than the insecurity of not knowing what he can or cannot do. We have enough of us out there, enough men out there right now that like to be able to, what do we call that? Coaching, from the couch, and to tell you what they think from there, because they've never done it and they think they do. But talk to those that have done it and see where they are. And I think that we can become that. I want to become that. I want to become a better man, a better version of myself. Look, let me tell you, look, guys, if you found your spot and you're like, I'm good where I'm at, man, hats off to you. But I think all of us have a place where we can keep building upon ourselves and becoming better fathers, husbands, better providers, better human beings. And that starts with you and I. It really does. It starts with us, fellas. It starts with us. Be honest with you, it starts with us, and it really does end with us. We need to acknowledge that how important your role is in your family and how important that role will be with those that maybe don't have a family right now, but you will in the future. I'm telling you how important that will be in the future of your family, of where you establish yourself. Wherever you've made mistakes in the past, you can build on that. Your family loves you, and they will watch you grow as you become disciplined and as you create goals for yourself, not for everyone else, just for yourself. Start with you. You do you. And trust me, I'm doing me right now. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm signing up this week. I'm going to go sign up, get my everyday carry, and start learning how to use the weapons and take some defense classes with home defense on how to do tactical. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to do it. And just become better of myself. Look, dude, I love golf. I'll golf all day long, but I'll tell you what, golf does not protect my home. I don't even know if it really keeps me in shape, to be honest with you, because I'm riding around the cart all day long. It does let me know how much I'm not in shape because of the fact that I'm sore when I get out. There's nothing wrong with having a good time and playing golf and having these things. But I think it's very important, fellas, that we spend time in the garden. We spend time on ourselves and building ourselves as better men, as fathers, as husbands, tending the garden, protecting the garden, because that's what we should do. And I encourage you today to join me with this, whatever it may be, whatever you start with. You could drop me a comment where you want to start as well. And where you would like to see yourself be. I know by next year, okay, we're looking at it is 315, 315, 26. Next year, I want to be a part of the Murph Challenge. And I want to do it. And I'm going to do it. Have fun with that. I want to thank you guys for tuning in here and listening to me today. Just ramble on. I want to encourage you to make some goals this year. Let's make it happen together. Remember, there's no shortcuts. Thank you guys once again. I'm Mike Smith. Thank you for listening to No Shortcuts. And you and I will talk soon. Very, very soon.